it's gonna be good, my job gonna be good, my car gonna be good, my bills gonna be good, our food gonna be good, my business gonna be good. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to go buy Gucci belts and this. No. I mean, if you did all those things and you had money left over, then hey, do your thing. However, that's not what that money was for. And the government know it. They're like, these idiots, this is what they're going to do. We're going to actually help them. But we know some of them still ain't going to get it. Okay? Because poverty is a mindset too. And I said that everybody was in poverty, but you can have a lot of money and still have a poverty mindset. Those are the people that usually don't hold on to their wealth very long. They end up squandering it at some point. So people wasn't paying attention. That first part was a drill. That was the red horse in the book of Revelations. Red horse, red, blood, virus, sickness, disease, dis-ease, the red horse. The next horse in the book of Revelation was, I actually don't even remember the order. I want to say the pale horse was next. Pale is kind of an ambiguous color. Pale sometimes can look white, sometimes can look gray, sometimes can look yellow. It's pale. It's an ambiguous color, right? The pale horse is the evolution of humanity through the LGBTQ community, okay? And if the church is so powerful and, being LGBTQ or other identifications is so wrong, how come you can't stop it? Why couldn't you stop it? They still here. They still coming. More people's coming out. Teenagers is saying what they feel like, because it's human evolution. Again, every time there's a new age, Aquarius, it affects culture and it causes some sort of human evolution. There's a new evolution of humanity coming to the earth. LGBTQ community is the pale horse. Gender is leaving. Gender identification is leaving. And so, hold on. This guy is trying to sell me an alarm system. Hold on. Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, how you doing,
yeah,
sir?
my daughter told me you can't. I got an alarm system already, babe.
You heard of Vivint before?
Yeah, yep. I know exactly who you are.
And the camera's whistling, it's 4K.
I know about all that, but I'm actually in the middle of something right now.
Is there
But
stop by another time? Is that
no,
possible?
because I like my alarm system. I love it. I love the person I got. I don't know who you are though. I know who Vivint is, but that's okay.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Take care. Yep.
So, sorry about that, y'all. So anyway, so the LGBTQ community is, it's a new evolution of humanity. We got to accept it. Okay. They're here. They've been here. First of all, the Old Testament started out like that. Hello. You know what I'm saying? How is it that they've been here? Like your Bible actually was founded on some of that stuff. Hello. So anyway, and I notice a lot of relationships are moving back into a more tribal way of thinking. So you got more people that are, first of all, it started with this whole side chick, side dude craze. All of a sudden, everybody, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really that. It was the fact that evolution in humanity was changing. And so a lot of people took the negative route with it. But then there's some that's, now that we're getting closer and closer to that new age, they're turning to the tribal way of thinking and doing polyamorous relationships and just being open with the extra people in their lives. Okay. But what opened the door for that, because it's always been there in a lot of like Caucasian communities, and they were mocked and humiliated and talked about for it. You didn't see a lot of Hispanic families do it. You didn't see a lot of, black families doing and stuff like that. But even though it did, that was our way of life in Africa, it's coming back around. All right. And what opened the door for polyamory was the LGBTQ community. Okay. Because some polyamorous relationships may have same sex, say like there's two of them are women or two men, and those two men may connect not all the time, but sometimes they may connect. They may not. It just depends on their personal preferences and what their arrangement is. And then also, polyamory is not for, you got to have money for that. I'll do a video on that another day, but that's not something to be taken lightly. And especially if you have children as well, you got to be careful how you do that. And like I said, this is not something that's, you need to have stability to hold something like that down. So anywho, so the pale horse LGBTQ community is now here. They're not going anywhere. They were always coming. They're actually coming back. You know what I'm saying? LGBTQ community now has rights and things like, all that stuff. But that's a part of it. That's the pale horse. Humanity is changing. Gender is leaving. Sex is there, yeah, male, female, whatever. But gender is leaving. And we are going to have to learn to be okay with that. Okay? Because this is life now. All right? It was actually already ordained to be this way. So if you are in the LGBTQ community, be proud of who you are. Okay? Do not let these these cultic religious organizations scare you, make you feel bad about who you are and what you want and what you prefer. And you keep speaking out for yourself. You keep standing up for yourselves and one another. Okay? Because you're supposed to be here. Another sector of that pale horse, I believe, is autism. I really do. Autism and autistic people force you to think a different way. They force you to be creative in how you communicate with them, how you spend time with them, and it's a spectrum disorder. Or when you say disorder, it's a spectrum, condition. So it affects each and every like if there was 5,000 people in this world that have autism, it affects all 5,000 of them differently. That is amazing to me. You can't tell me that's not by design. Okay? They think differently. They're very intelligent, very bright people. And if you take the time, they got a lot to teach us. Okay? The next horse, the black horse, I want to say it was the black one. That's the famine. A lot of fear on this earth right now. There's a lot of people walking and living in a lot of fear. They hide it in anger. They hide it in jealousy. They hide it in envy. They hide it in insecurity. They hide it in being overly submissive or overly aggressive. But at the root of it, it's just fear. And a lot of that fear comes from insecure, not being secure in your finances, secure in your home situation, your transportation, whatever. In COVID, that red horse that came first kicked that off. So the black horse is the financial instability, the financial lack, the lack of jobs, the businesses that are no longer there that may have been there for years. Finances received, a lot of people's finances received a complete blackout, and they're still in that phase. Those that did illegal things to get finances definitely blacked out, because if you get caught, you're going to jail. So, yep, right now that black horse is riding, and a lot of people are under judgment. Okay? And the final horse in Revelation, the white one, I think that was the last one. That's everybody who made it. Everybody who ever to get through COVID, who made it through being who they are. And even if you're not LGBTQ, you had the balls to do that inner work to figure out who you are. What am I supposed to be doing right now? What is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing that I need to just let go of? What's not serving me no more? It's for those people. You know, when COVID first hit, a lot of people died in this country. That was the first rapture. That was the first set of people. Gone. Just like that. Gone. A lot of the first round was elderly. And that virus was designed that way. Because there's a lot of elderly people that live very active lives. There's a lot of elderly people that I look up to and I see like, man, I hope when I get that age, I'll be getting it down like that still. Like, I want to still be traveling. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like that. A lot of those are still here, but a lot of them are not. But it was designed that way because the elderly are the least productive in our society. So they got to go first. They're going first in the rapture. That happened with the red horse. The next set of people, those with chronic diseases and illnesses. Now, I'm not saying this is for everybody, okay? But many chronic illnesses come from unhealthy lifestyle and unhealthy lifestyle choices. So many people die from COVID simply because their unhealthy choices and lifestyles led them into this illness and they could not fight it off. They got raptured. This was also a time for you to do that inner work and figure out, what is it about me and my health that I need to get together? Because if I get this, how well am I going to be able to fight it off? If I'm overweight, do I need to start losing the weight? If my eating habits are bad, do I need to cut out processed foods? Do I need to go back? You know, COVID forced us to go back to a lot of organic ways of living. Even down to having a baby. It got to the point where, you know, I heard a lot of women like, well, can I just have a baby at home? Back to the original way of doing things. A reset. Okay? It's a cosmic reset going on right now. All of a sudden, everybody wants sea moss. All of a sudden, everybody wants elderberry. I don't want Tylenol. I mean, Tylenol's okay. I don't want ibuprofen because if you get COVID, ibuprofen is not a good thing to take. Tylenol is. And I know that firsthand from having it twice. So, what gets you through that is natural remedies, natural herbs and things like that. Hair salons were closed. You had to go back to doing your own hair. You had some people, depending on what you could afford, couldn't afford them hair weaves anymore. You had to be yourself. We had to see the real you for a minute. And honestly, if you look back on it, it wasn't that bad, was it? Okay? You couldn't hide behind your accessories. We had to see you for who you are. Going back to the beginning, the organic way of living. Okay? People were forced to be in the house with their families. Forced to be in the house with their loved one or their significant other or partner or whoever they chose to be with at that time. It forced people to slow down because family is where you need to be first. Ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing out here. Not too much. Not to be out here like that. You know what I'm saying? It forced you to put family first. A cosmic reset. The organic way of living. Going back to the original way of doing things before we got so far off. So, again, the white horse is those that saw the warning, heard the trumpets, and took heed to it. Let me step back from some things. Let me make sure my job remains secure. What do I need to do here to continue to make myself valuable? What do I need to do with my home situation so that if my children have to be home again, can I still go to work? If the daycare is closed, can I still go to work? And even if it doesn't happen again, it still made you think of where you need to tighten up your life. Now, some people, again, they didn't pay attention. And so when the great teacher, the bringer of that karma, Saturn, our father, goes back direct during the season of justice, Libra, the scales. When those scales get ready to balance out, a lot of people are going to be upset. You're going to have those that blame other people. Well, if I hadn't did this, or she hadn't did this, or he hadn't did that, I wouldn't be in this. Not taking accountability, it's fine. Because it's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to blame nobody but yourself. Your choices is what led you here. So that goes to, again, the white horse is those that did the work. They made those changes. And they made it. And so what you're creating right now is the heaven or the hell that you're getting ready to go into. Heaven and hell is not a literal place. Again, it's a type of consciousness. It's a reality that you live in now. Life is happening now. That is some bullshit to tell somebody you can't have all the good things in life until you go to heaven. That is the devil. That is a lie, and the truth is not in it. You mean to tell me, how come I can't have my heaven? Wait, what? No, because when you die, you die. That's it. You're not going anywhere unless you're going to reincarnate and come back, but you're not going anywhere. And that's another way that Christ returns too. When you die and your soul reincarnates and you take that consciousness with you. So anywho, people wasn't paying attention. And this is the final trumpet right here with Saturn going retrograde. It's the final one, the final warning. And some people still going to be like, oh, she crazy or they crazy. They don't know. Okay, I'll be that. That's fine. A couple months ago, I had this dream that I was in this big old high-rise building. It was so beautiful. I felt like I was back on the West Coast. That would be nice. And so all of a sudden I seen, like, I'm looking out the window, but all I see is all this fire and all these people just, no. It was the going up first. I seen all these people and it was like this bluish something around them and they was all being lifted up in the sky. And I'm looking like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, how come they leaving and I'm not? And I'm like, oh my God, did I do it? Did I have this wrong? And I was like, oh, but then all of a sudden I blinked and it was the opposite. All of a sudden, all those same people was going back down this way. They was just shooting down. It was fire. Like they was all encompassed in this fire, just going down, down, down. And I was like, whew, thank goodness. Okay, whew, I thought I had it wrong. What goes up must come down. You ain't got to believe it. You ain't got to believe it at all. But when it goes up for you, congratulations. All the choices you made for these over the years, you created your heaven, and your heaven is coming. You get to live in heaven for quite some time, and just make sure you maintain it. But all these people that think this is funny, and they out here messing with things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and they're not paying attention. They don't know when to sit down. They don't know when to chill out. Take a break from some things. Get yourself in order. Get your life in order. Get your money in order. Get your home in order. Get your relationships in order. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your kids is right. Get your body right. Get your mind right. Get your career right. Your business, whatever. They're currently where they're wrapping up creating their hell for themselves. And they're all going to the lake of fire when Libra season comes. That's going to last. The initial shock of the karma is going to last between 3 and 5 years. Godspeed to you if you've never had to endure a Saturn cycle and this is your first one, because this is one of the toughest ones that this world has ever seen. This was going to be one for the books. Okay? And a lot of them taste it's happening now in small ways. You know, you just got to pay attention. But that's essentially what the book of Revelations is about, people. The apocalypse is already happening, and it's actually almost done. So when Libra season comes in and those scales get ready to balance out, and you know everybody's work is going to show for itself, you're going to go to heaven. Life is going to be good for you. Saturn is proud of you. Your father is proud of you, and Saturn is going to rain down so many gifts. You're going to be like, man, you're going to feel like you don't deserve it. Yes, you do. Take it and just say thank you, and keep doing that good work. Keep growing. Keep elevating. But for those that didn't, they go into hell. You're gonna feel like, you're gonna just be walking in a conscious state like you're in hell every single day. Some people are gonna try to commit suicide because the truth of who they really are and have been is gonna hit them so hard. It's gonna be hard to bear. But many people are not gonna be successful in that because Source is going to make sure you walk out that lesson. They ain't going to let you go nowhere. You're going to sit here and take this. Okay? You know, the Antichrist actually began in the age of Pisces. Religion, politics, selfishness, all parts of leadership in those areas have characteristics of the Antichrist. So that's already happened. It's happened in religion, it's happened in politics, everything. And so, again, but it was able to do that because of the stronghold of generational ignorance, is what the lesson is right now. Stop teaching your kids that bogus stuff. Okay? The Bible was not literal. It's metaphoric. Okay? In the Bible, it talks about Christ being able to command both angels and demons. So there's a lot of people that, oh my God, you can't learn about demons. You get that's fear. Fear is the opposite of love. And Source is love. You cannot be afraid to learn. You mean tell me you're so far gone in your cult that your cult has made you fearful of knowledge. All you're doing is learning. I learned about demons. I learned about angels. Christ was able to command them both and he was able to work with them both because he wasn't afraid. How can you do effective spiritual warfare if you don't know how your enemy operates or your alleged enemy? Because all of them are not enemies. If that was the case, he would not have allowed demons to assist Solomon, King Solomon, in building his temple. Hello. You cannot teach unless you learn first. So, you know, people have called me all kind of stuff, but I know I'm a teacher in my spirit. I can't teach you what I don't know. I have to learn certain things in order to teach people. I can't be afraid to learn, okay? That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's silly. That's silly. So, pick up some books. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a mosquito bite on my leg and it's driving me nuts. Pick up some books. Learn, okay? Learn the difference of what a cherubim is, a seraphim angel. Learn who Archangel Michael is. Learn who Uriel is. Learn who Gamaliel is. Gabriel. Learn who they are. Learn the difference in the devil, Satan, and Lucifer. There's only certain people that's going to understand it, that need to understand it. And then there's some people, unfortunately, if they get a hold of that information, because they're already in mental illness, they just going to mess themselves up more, which a lot of people have already done. I don't know. Godspeed to y'all, you type of people. I don't really know what to say about that. But You cannot be afraid to learn their consciousness, their energies. Lucifer, Satan, the devil, there are 3 different entities. You cannot be afraid to know. Start learning what the tree of life is. Because that's the whole goal of life. You really want to know who spirit is, learn what the tree of life is. And it takes, I want to say I studied it for 6 years before I truly understood it. But I also understood the flip side of it. I learned the flip side of it. It's called the tree of the clip-off. You cannot have light without dark. You cannot have dark without light. They exist together. So I've learned the tree of death as well, which teaches you about Lilith and Samael and all those things as you climb the tree. The other part of that tree, though, is the tree of life. And we exist in all those different consciousnesses at different times of our lives. But each area, or what they would call, I think it's Sephir, each level of consciousness takes you closer and closer to your heaven, or further and further down into your hell. That's it. Okay? So stop being afraid to learn. Stop being afraid to read certain things. Like, that's stupid. That is the dumbest thing ever. You scared of a book, of some words? You mean to tell me you don't have that much control over your mind? You don't have that much belief in who you say you believe in, that if you read a book, you're going to get attacked and the demons are going to... Mental illness. You're letting your imaginations run. You're letting them run too far. And what is fear? Imaginary thoughts of things that might not even actually ever happen. Like, that's just silly. You know, so if you want to know about something, ask. You know, there is a part in the Bible that says, Paul was like, we're the debaters of this age. We're the people that actually want to have these conversations. We're the people that actually learn. You know what I'm saying? How dare you go through your life by somebody else's instructions? How dare you lead your own life by what somebody else is constantly telling you? What kind of life is that? Whatever your pastor or your people tell you to do, you just do it? That's your life, though. And let me tell you something. You will get karma for that, too. For not living the life that you're supposed to live. You also get karma for inaction. Not just action. You also get it for not doing what you were supposed to do. You will also get it for allowing fear to stop you. Fear is a thief. Okay? It is a thief. It is the opposite of love. If you see a book on a subject you've never heard of, or that you think is taboo, and you instantly feel fear, that's the devil right there. Because source is love. All right? You good. You good. How you gonna open up other people's eyes and help anybody else, or just help your own life, if you don't take the time to know and learn? You know better, you do better. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Take your power back. You know, my mother was a minister, and she used to always tell me, I don't care what church you go to, or if you decide to stop going to church, it doesn't matter. Just know God for yourself. Don't ever let nobody dictate your relationship with God. If God to you is calling you to do certain things or learn about something, do it. This person that's talking to you is just a mere mortal man like you. And just like he can hear God, you can hear God. Okay? So when I started getting, I remember waking up. I lived in Las Vegas for a short period of time, and I woke up one morning, and as I was waking up, I was having a dream of a lady talking to me, and she said, I'm expanding your left-hand path. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? What is that? What is a left-hand path? Till I started looking up with some things, and I consulted another good spiritual friend that I can talk to, because, you know, when you on certain levels, everybody don't understand you, and you can't talk to everybody. But this particular person, I know she's, you know, on a similar path, so she knows what I'm saying. Shout out to my homegirl, Sheena. Love you, girl. But I was like, what is that? I was like, so I'm looking, I was like, this stuff on the left hand is talking about Lucifer and stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? So I just started studying different things, learning different things. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. What the hell was I scared of all these years? What in the what? And many of them will hurt you. Okay, let's not get that twisted. But many of them don't. They're actually there to help. Just like I understood on the right-hand path, there's angels that are not all sweet and la 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 la. You know, y'all let Hollywood get y'all tripped up. Some of these angels will tear you apart. And no demon has the right to operate without the authority of an angel. So, again, there's parts of the Bible, not parts, but all of it. It's metaphor. It's not meant to be taken literal. The book of Revelations is happening now. Okay, ain't no white man coming out the sky on a horse. Ain't no big angels about to fall out the sky and blow some trumpets and all. That's already been done. The trumpet, it's already been sounded, but you were looking for it literal. It's metaphorical. No, and a lot of y'all missed it, and you're still missing it. But you'll get it eventually. You're gonna be like, oh, wow. And then some people just gonna die in their ignorance, and that's cool too, because obviously that's what they was here for. Let me see. It was something I had wrote. Why did I write this? Sickness, famine, war, hunger, suffering, selfishness, violence, religious extremism, killings, destructions of all kind, are all forms of darkness that has covered the earth for thousands of centuries. Also, the black race, Africa, as a whole, that appeared to be in gross darkness due to poverty, backwardness, lack of development, etc., will certainly now rise, awaken, and advance like others in the order for Mother Earth to reach the age of Aquarius. So, the Black Lives Matter movement. Don't worry, black folks. It's, I feel like racism is always going to be there, and it may always, I don't know. But the way it has affected us, it's going away. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like it has been. It's not going away, but it's not going to be like it has been. That was all divinely ordered. Okay? It's supposed to be like that. That's why things is changing. Humanity is changing, and there's nothing you can do about it. And this is why the church is so quiet, because they're going away. The age of Pisces is going away. Okay, so we reached the full age. I'm thinking somewhere between Libra season and the end of the year. But either way, we're already moving in that direction. So, everything being computerized, jobs being replaced, Zoom meetings, Zoom classes, not a lot of social interaction. That's to prepare you for the technological age of Aquarius, of information and knowing. If you're an elderly person and you still don't know how to work computers, I suggest you learn, and you learn fast. So I wanted to just put that out to let you know. The book of Revelations is already happening. It's pretty much almost done. And I hope you continue to pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm trying to see if I have anything else in here. Because this was like such a deep download. I was like, am I going to remember all of this? So, okay, so Pisces ushered in, religion and all that stuff. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is, dreams, inspiration, spirituality, all that stuff. But on the negative end of Pisces is where you get the ego, overly submissive, delusions, deceptions. All that stuff came out of religion, the church. If God is so omnipotent and omniscient and omnipresent as you say, are you serious? You really think that Christianity is the only way to get to God? You sure about that? How do you know God doesn't have all these many faces? That God can choose to reveal itself in Taoism, Daoism, Buddhism? How do you know God cannot show its face through Christianity, Islam, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, Candomblé, Santeria, Voodoo, Rastafarianism? These are all religions, okay? How do you know there's only one way to get to such an all-knowing God? No. If there's only one way, that you got to read the same way, act the same way, live the same way, do the same things, go the same, that is a cult. Okay? It's a cult. And if I don't do it the way you want me to do it, I'm now condemned. I'm being punished. That is a cult. And you're taking my money on top of that? Wake up, people. No. Wake up. No. And I gave you something your pastor is not going to tell you. And then he going to charge you. I'm giving it to you for free. So some of you that are ready for the New World Order, who's ready to open your minds and ready to open your hearts and let love lead, you know, it's a time to be ratchet. It's a time not to be. This ain't that time. Okay? Control yourselves. Pay attention. You want to misuse, you know, your little spells and stuff you get off Pinterest. So, anyway, the rapture's already happening. A lot of people in this world have already been raptured. They're gone. They're dead. And there's going to be another set. So, and those that are left here, you've created your heaven or your hell. And we will, you know, everybody will know who they are when it happens. This is a cycle even for teenagers. Teenagers are not exempt either. If you're over the age of what some people call accountability, 12, this goes for you too. You've not been treating your parents right. If, you know, granted that you have a decent set of parents, because we know nowadays these teenagers is going through it. They are not getting the parenting that they should, and they're seeing too much and hearing too much, you know. But there's a big group of teenagers that are extremely intelligent, extremely smart, very in tune. I love it. You know, I've talked to some teenagers because I have a teenage daughter where, you know, some of the things that they know, some of the things that she knows, it's like, man, I just figured that out 5 years ago. And you 15 and you understand that concept. Oh man, these gonna be some cold kids. But they being raised up in the age of information for a purpose. They're supposed to be highly advanced, technologically advanced. They're supposed to be highly intuitive and smarter than we were, because evolution is changing. Okay? Some of these children, these teenagers I've met, can lead some adults that I know. I'm like, this child got way more sense and a better understanding than a couple grown people that I know. How is that possible? How is that possible? So if you're a parent and you have a teenager, don't underestimate your child's intelligence. Okay? Celebrate it and have conversations with them. Find out exactly what they know. Because these kids know a whole lot more than we did. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. But take time to figure out what they know. What they're learning and stuff. You know. It's just awesome. So, anywho, I think I'm done. I think that's all I had to tell you. Or, you know, hopefully somebody will understand it over the next few days. If you didn't get it now, you will get it. You know, if you like to be on some BS, you can get back to that later. But right now, this ain't the time for that. It's just not. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Inner work. Take care of you. Pay attention to you and your house. What's going on in your house? Your money, your job, your kids, your family. What's you? You. Okay? So be ready. Be ready. to go on up into your heaven and enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know, and be rewarded by the universe for a job well done over the years. Or you can go to hell. Simple as that. All right, y'all. Take care.